Well, meowdy everybody, assuming this works. Ah, geez. It's me, Jane, everyone's favorite girl. Oh, Christ, you're not supposed to see that. Oh, fuck. Uh, well, and welcome back to a post review of, oh, Christ, that's an email. Welcome back to a post review of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Purrgression series. We're using OBS now, but we have gotten no less unprofessional. We are as unprofessional as we have always been. Um, please bear with me. To many's surprise, I'm not a tech savvy sort. Not even a little bit. So I'm. This is my first time attempting to use a recording software to make my videos look a little more professional, and I absolutely hope this comes out well. It'll be, eons ahead of the recording that I had been doing. If this ends up working out, it'll just make everything so much smoother and look so much nicer. And even though this is a YouTube channel predominantly to show some things with my friends to my other friends, I kind of want to, take some pride in having some professionalism and trying to get a little better. There's no reason not to. Um, in any case, just please bear with me as I try to learn how to use OBS and keep checking it in the middle of a video, which will show up on the video. Um, in any case, though, it's been a busy day for me, but I have just found enough time between classes and work and such to do a quick overview of our Pharaonic Guardian round of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Purrgression Series 2. Um, this is another round in which we managed to come out on top. Certainly no shortage of thanks to our Imperial Order pre-errata here. Absolutely broken pull, no way we weren't going to be using that, and no way it wasn't going to end up being one of the major hits. I will discuss the hits at the end of this video because there are some surprises there. So, real quick, we did manage to scoop up a win this time again. So I wanted to give a quick overview of the deck that I ended up running. I decided to go a really heavy, aggressive, equip beatdown strategy for a couple different reasons, right? For one, we've got the two Mahavilos, which are just really good. As well as, we've picked up some really busted equip spells over the last couple packs. A lot of these are ultra rares, they're high rarity, so it's really cool to get our hands on some. And, it might not be necessarily the best deck, but the format is actually slow enough right now, I think, that we could really take advantage of a deck like this. And I don't think a lot of people have the tools to stop it, especially with stuff like Imperial Order. Which might initially seem contradictory to our strategy, but ends up being, a critical piece. So let's do a quick overview of the deck here. First up, we just have 6 1800 beaters in 7 colored fish and Sky Scout, 2 tribute summon monsters, Barrel Dragon and Shadow Ghoul. Shadow Ghoul is mediocre, but in a very slow format, it's going to gain 100 attack for every monster in our graveyard, and that can get pretty high, especially if you boost it with equip spells. We've only got one each of our downside attackers, Jirai Gumo and Dark Elf. We only pulled one each, unfortunately. We've got our two Mahavilo. This is the cornerstone of the deck. We end up searching it a lot off of our, what is it? Witch is the one that searches this? Yes, it is. Luckily, we have the two Witch to search it, as well as the one Sangin. Those are our recruiters. We're also on 3 UFO Turtle for a couple of reasons. For one, 1400 isn't that small of an attack value. It's pretty small, but it's bigger than you might think, and it can definitely get over some stuff if it's boosted by some equipped spells. Plus, if it dies, it floats into another one of itself, and any monster that immediately replaces itself is going to be pretty valuable, as well as just setting us up for a tribute summon. Once again, we've got the recruiters here, and we've got 2 Magician of Faith. This card is completely invaluable. It's wild to me that it has not gotten hit yet. Just recovers all of our spells that are busted, and we've got a lot of them. Heavy Storm is still in the format, has not been touched yet. 2 Fisher, which is some pretty generic removal. Upstart enables us to play a 39-card deck. We've got the Nobleman of Crossout to punish flip effect monsters. Tribute to the Doomed isn't great removal, but it's removal. Rush Recklessly ends up boosting our attack when we are attacked. The Axe of Despair, the Black Pendant, the Stim Pack, and the 3 Malevolent Nuzzler are the equips. They're just all, relatively decent boosts. We've also got the Snatch Steal, which is an equip that steals our opponent's monster. So kind of congruous with our strategy, but not really. We're still in the trap hole. We're on 3, Light of Intervention. This prevents our opponent from setting monsters face down, which turns off all flip effects. In a format with a lot of really good flip effect monsters, I figured if I was going to go for a really unga bunga beat down aggro deck, I needed some way to turn off flip effect monsters, and Light of Intervention is a really good generic way to do that. Just really good card, overlooked a lot. We've also got our Call of the Haunted. This is a great card, and of course Imperial Order, which just shuts off all spells, and this is the pre-errata version, which means it's optional to pay the 700 life point cost. Not too much to talk about over here in the side deck. I've basically put a backup package in case beatdown goes really, really, really badly for us. With 3 Bubonic Vermin, these just summon more of themselves for, tribute summons, the Spear Cretin, the Hane, as well as some other generic tools that I've taken out because I don't feel they're very good. Cold Wave is a great card, but it's not good yet in a format this low. Painful Choice is really bad right now. Tailor of the Fickle I've still got in here just in case our opponent ends up being on equipped spell stuff. But and of course Prohibition I wanted to run as a tool that I could side in games 2 and 3 once I knew what my opponent was on. Because, once you know that your opponent is on a strategy that really relies on, like, Jinzo, for example, if you can hit Jinzo, then you're kind of in the clear. We also only pulled 1 Michizure, which is kind of a problem for us. Right now, we're not even running it in the main deck, but that will definitely be a problem going forward. So, with that review out of the way, let's go into the Pharaoh's Servant games. Not Pharaonic Guardian. These sets are so unbelievably close to each other. It's upsetting. Anyway, our first round here is Alexis versus Spells, so we're watching from Alexis' point of view. You can see here, she's already pulled the Imperial Order. She starts with a Painful Choice, which is going to net a Sandgan, and then just set some cards and pass. You see also the Megamorph here, kind of a crazy option. And she's going to use the Painful Choice to use Call of the Haunted to reborn the Trihorn Dragon, which is just absurd. You see Spell with the Magic Drain here, and the Chain Destruction. Let me pause for a moment so we can catch up. First of all, Chain Destruction, really sad card. This kills the other monsters in the deck, but not the one they summoned, which does take care of a Sandgan. That's not bad, but you can also see with this Painful Choice, Alexis dumping some kind of mediocre cards, as well as 2 Trihorn Dragons and the Sandgan, enabling her to revive the Trihorn Dragon with Call of the Haunted. I mean, holy shit. Spell in the meantime, running the 4-card Ladybug of Doom, a really good card, but in this case it only kills the 7-colored fish. Here she's going to be kind of stuck with a lot of cards she can't use. Using the Silent Turtle to get over Sangin, who's going to search a Magician of Faith, attempting to use Fisher to get over the Trihorn Dragon, but it meets the Imperial Order. That is tragic. She will pay the cost, set the face on the over with Trihorn Dragon. Spell for turn is going to draw a Faith of her own, which she will set. Really unfortunate to have Magician of Faith with Imperial Order up. She will trap her with Giant Worm, which is maybe a good move. Going to recover the Fisher with his Magician of Faith, drawing into a second Fisher, which is quite unfortunate as long as Imperial Order is up, so she will just surrender. That's just tragic, but it's a very good game to illustrate how Imperial Order just sort of wins you the game sometimes. It's kind of a broken card. Let's swap so that we're watching from Alexis' point of view just for consistency. So you can see here kind of what Spell's going for, a slow flip burn deck with Toll here. Alexis is going to Nobleman of Crossout, the Parasite, sending the other one from the deck. Tragic. Spell, however, is on Gravity Bind, Toll, and Type 0 Magic Crusher, as well as Prohibition, which will activate calling Imperial Order. Maybe not the right call, I wouldn't know for sure. I'd probably call Trihorn, honestly. Here the 4-star Ladybug is going to blow up a Witch, which will unfortunately allow her to search Jinzo. And yes, you are reading that right, Alexis, it's something about people with Alex in the name, because Simo also pulled both the secret rares in the Purrgression series. managed to pull both here, the Jinzo and the Imperial Order. Jinzo, of course, turns off all trap cards, so the Gravity Bind is not going to work. 7-colored fish getting over Island Pearl with the Restless, absolutely brutal. And yeah, Spell really doesn't have anything she can do from this position. Of course, Toll is still active, which means it costs 500 life points to pay an attack, but, you know, when you've got Jinzo up, there's really nothing you can do. Imagine pulling both secret rares and having cards that can both negate all spell cards in the game and all trap cards in the game. Absolutely brutal. So for our match, we're up against the Gao, who seems to be on a control sort of stun deck. We're going to start things just by equipping the Sky Scout with Axe of Despair to get it up to 2800, which feels pretty good. He's got the Forceful Sentry, which is kind of painful, and Gravekeeper's Servant, setting a giant rat. For our turn, we're going to Nobleman, which unfortunately will not hit because of Flip. We mill a Fisher to attack with our Jirai Gumo. Unfortunately for us, we will have to pay some life points, but it doesn't seem like he's managed to find both halves of his combo. You see the Insect Barrier in the hand here, sort of looking at what he's going for. In this scenario, I get very greedy summoning Sky Scout with this Call of Duty, and I'm immediately punished by a 4-star Lady of Doom, which nukes my entire field. Pretty bad strategy. In this case, he's going to find the other half of the combo, the DNA Surgery, which from here will prevent me from attacking, so I will set a UFO turtle and pass. Now in his position, he's not really able to do much either, and luckily we managed to find off the top the Heavy Storm. Luckily we kept this equipped spell so we can avoid the Magic Drain. Tribute summon Shadow Ghoul with 2100 attack points, coming in clutch. It will fetch the Paralyzing Potion, but all we need to do is find a monster. Magician of Faith is a monster, but not necessarily the one we want. He's going to top deck into a Mystic Tomato, which he will set. We will draw into an Imperial Order. Magician of Faith will get us back at the Heavy Storm, which we will activate again to hit the Paralyzing Potion. Get over Mystic Tomato with the Shadow Ghoul. It'll summon another one. We will pass turn. For turn, Gao will just change it to defense position. It comes back to us. We're going to draw Light of Intervention. Over the tomato, which will summon a third tomato. And then we'll pass turn. From here, he's going to tribute summon a Summon Skull. Attack over Shadow Ghoul. Things are looking a little bad for us, but not too bad. We'll set the Sanguine that we draw off the top. From here, he's going to just keep attacking. Sanguine's going to search us a Witch of the Black Forest here. I get Witch because it can get us into Mahavilo, which we set then to hopefully get into next turn. He's going to start attacking 7-colored fish as well. We're going to search the Vilo here. 7-colored fish gets over our Magician of Faith. We draw. Luckily, we have 2 equipped spells now, so we will juice this Mahavilo up, and that will cause him to concede, so kind of a close game there. We definitely got put out of, range to really wreck shop a couple times. But we definitely were at the advantage. Luckily, the beatdown strategy came through. So for this game, he's going to start with the Insect Barrier combo. You can see he's got Sangha of the Thunder there. We're going to start just by sitting Witch of the Black Forest and 2 cards. He's got the DNA Surgery right off the bat, so we can't even attack. The game's gonna get pretty slow here. This is what peak Yu-Gi-Oh looks like. Folks, the thing about this is what peak Yu-Gi-Oh looks like. This is true Yu-Gi-Oh. We're gonna draw Nobleman of Extermination, hit 1 tomato, and things will continue on as normal. You can see here he's playing Sword of the Deep-Seated. The reason you play that is if you are running a heavy stun deck like this one, Sword automatically recycles itself back into the deck, which means you will never deck out. And because it's automatic, because it's automatic, Sword will, as a cost, most cards like Malevolent Nuzzler here, Malevolent Nuzzler is optional, which is very good, but in order to be optional, it costs 500 life points. Sword of the Deep-Seated is not optional, but that means you don't have to pay a cost, which means if you're on a stun deck like this, Sword of the Deep-Seated is actually the optimal thing to run. Now, to explain the play I just made here, I just tributed 2 Witch of the Black Forest in order to summon Barrel Dragon. Witch of the Black Forest does not care how it's sent to the graveyard, does not have to be destroyed, so we get 2 searches off of the 2 witches. So we will pick up 2 monsters, and just leave Barrel Dragon on the field here. Unfortunately, Barrel Dragon's effect, fool that I am, I did not realize Barrel Dragon's effect only hits monster cards, so it could not hit the Insect Barrier combo. We're going to draw Upstart, and continue to fail to find any. I keep forgetting that I can even activate Barrel Dragon's effect here, so I waste that Tribute to the Doomed, unfortunately, or at least maybe wasted it. I didn't bother to activate Barrel Dragon's effect, and that's something I'm going to do a couple times. I finally decide to flip up this Light of Intervention, forgetting how it works. It won't flip monsters that are already set on the field once it's activated, but from that point onward, it activates, which means he can't summon this Hain in attack position, or in face-down position. He can't, get the advantage off the Hain effect, which is great for us, considering we're on a tribute monster. Same with this Armed Ninja here. We will just discard some cards. We're gonna tribute summon Labyrinth Wall and face-up defense position, just like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. We're going to manage to hit it with Barrel Dragon, discard for cost, or discard for turn. We will summon Song of the Thunder, which fetches out luckily for us. But the game continues to be slow. We will attempt to flip with Barrel Dragon and fail, setting our Call of the Haunted here. Paralyzing Potion, equipped to Barrel Dragon. You might be like, wait, why would you equip a machine monster with Paralyzing Potion? That's the one kind of monster that's immune to it. Fool that I am, that's what I thought, until I realized DNA surgery has made all my monsters into insects, which means it does in fact work on Barrel Dragon. Luckily we have the Fisher to get rid of that Jiraiya, but we cannot, for the life of us, manage to hit this face-down monster with Barrel Dragon. Luckily we draw into order here, finally finding the out after about 1,000,000 turns. He can't use 4-star Ladybug of Doom. For our turn, we're just going to flip up order, and he will immediately concede. What can I say? Order's a pretty good card, and when you have a hand of 5 spell cards, it probably doesn't look very good to you. It just immediately turns off the complete Insect Barrier combo, just thwarts it. So here we are, finals, me versus Alexis here, once again, in the finals. Managed to start with a familiar Sky Scout equipped with an equipped spell opener, as well as 2 set cards. She's just going to set a bunch of cards here. We draw into Sangan. We're going to flip up Light of Intervention, just we'll attack into Sangan with his Mahavilo, which will pick up a Germ, I believe. Then we will get in for 2,500, which isn't bad. Unfortunately, she's got the Nimble Mamanga. Now, Nimble Mamanga summons from deck in face-down defense position, but if Light of Intervention is up, it will just face-up defense position. It does not go through. Very frustrating Nimble Mamanga, which just gains 1,000 every time one is destroyed, which just gets her back to full life points, which is frustrating, but you kind of have to accept it. We'll draw in. We just want as many bodies on the field as possible to keep her off of monsters. As long as we can prevent her from having monsters on board, we can prevent Trihorn Dragon from coming down. We can prevent, any advantage being generated. If we can kill every monster she summons, then we are pretty much golden. Plus, this Magician of Faith can activate Intervention. Light of Intervention is really proving itself. We almost get lethal with this, but she has the magic to negate Rush recklessly, leaving her with 400 life points, which is a pretty big play. She's a witch here. Now, we've still got the advantage. Sangan and Witch will both trigger as we tributed those to Barrel Dragon, giving us 2 more monsters. Not that it matters because Barrel Dragon hits this Witch, it searches Jinto to little avail, calls the monster to revive a Germ, and just for fun, just to flex, we both flip up our copy of Imperial Order. I'm sorry. So yeah, that ending turn was a lot of ridiculous flexing. Tribute summoning Barrel Dragon was using 2 recruiters. The Call of the Haunted has to summon in face-up attack position, so the Germ was not going to protect her life points. And once I figured I had lethal, I just flipped up Imperial Order for fun. And she did the same because we both have Imperial Order. Tip of the hat, basically, is what that was. Here's our second match. She's going to start things off, setting 3 cards. We immediately find Light of Intervention, which is pretty good. We also get the Nobleman again. She's going to flip up Magic Drain. Doomed out of there. It does hit a Giant Germ. We'll get in 1100 with Witch. She has Nobleman of Extermination, forcing us to play Light of Intervention, but I'm not complaining. For those of you who don't know, Nobleman will fizzle if the card that it's targeting is flipped face. Here we draw into a Dark Elf. We searched it off fourth, actually. And it's just enough to get over Sky Scout. I was pretty wary of her back row, but they're just 2 negates. Oh, God. I'm suffering. No, it's fine. Anywho, get over this Witch's Black Forest, which will search the Nimble Mamanga. How frustrating. And we decide we need to be so aggressive that I actually paid for the even knowing Mamanga's about to come down and regain a bunch of life. We summon have as many bodies on board as possible, keep attacking over the every time they gain 1,000. We are definitely taking a lot of damage in our attempt to clear her board state, but it proves to be the right decision because she's got 2 Trihorn Dragon in hand. And we desperately need to get rid of those, so we will do anything we can in the meantime to just keep her off of any low-level monsters. She draws 2 Jinzo here. It hit the Trap Hole, which is a pretty good hit. She has nothing in hand. We Tribute Summon Barrel Dragon, using our 2 Recruiters, once again searching off Witch and Sangan to get 2 more monsters, and get in for lethal. Just a phenomenal game. God. Awful. I sure do hope I can figure out how to cut those noises out of this video, and if not, I'm very sorry. I'll do better next time. In any case, so that is it for the Pharaoh's Servant round. Next set, we have Labyrinth of Nightmare now. It may come as no surprise to all of you, Imperial Order and Jinzo were extremely busted cards this round, so both of them have been banned. I kind of expected as much. I knew it was coming, and, you know, Imperial Order is kind of a little bit busted, so I'm honestly not sad to see it go either. You know, I'm a little sad because I had it and it was a very strong card, but Alexis also had it, and it could have proven to be just as painful for me as it proved to be useful to me. So no complaints there. Hopefully next time everything will be good, and I sure hope OBS works out so that we can keep doing this. Have a good one.